Hello everybody, welcome to Dude with a Fork. My name is Ken. On today's episode of Ken Cooks Stuff, I made some homemade French bread pizzas to throw in the freezer that I could keep around to throw in the air fryer whenever I felt like pizza. I had some ingredients left over and I figured, hey, it's winter, let's make soup. So today we're making pizza soup. Let's get started. Alright, so these are the ingredients that I had left over. I have about a third of a pound of sausage left over. I have some chopped up pepperoni. I have some green peppers and red onions left over. The extra pizza sauce I put in these little containers and froze. And like I said, you could use that as a dipping sauce later, but we're gonna make soup. I still have some of this Parmesan cheese from Aldi, which is pretty good. This is gonna go in the soup to flavor it. And I have the mozzarella cheese left over. This will go on top of the soup as a garnish. And I thought since it's a soup, we're not going to have a pizza crust base. We'll put some pasta in it. I went to the Latino section of the store and got these en grane, or gears, pasta. And I thought, well, they're round. They look like little pizzas, so that'll be perfect. And I'm also going to use my Better Than bouillon to make up about 4 cups of chicken stock. So time to get things going. We'll head over to the stove and I'll see you there. All right, so I have a 3-quart saucepan here. It's sitting over medium heat. Normally when I make soup, I would put some oil, get it hot, and add my aromatics. But I'm going to go in first with this sausage because I know there is quite a bit of fat in that still. And I don't want to overload it with fat. So we're going to get that going. And break this up just a little bit. And see if we do actually need some additional fat. And if we do, I'll add a little bit of oil, and if we don't, we're good. So I'm also going to go ahead and add the pepperoni because I know that will come out a little on the fatty side too. So we will come back in a little bit when these have thawed out completely, and we'll see how much oil we're dealing with. And after a few minutes, this is what we have. I actually added just a little tiny bit of water, maybe a quarter cup, third of a cup, just to help this thaw out and separate, and it's done pretty well. And I think I'm pretty happy with the amount of fat that's in there, so I'm not going to add any extra. And I'm just going to go ahead and go in with those green peppers and red onions, and we'll get those cooked up a little bit. And because I chopped them up small, they're breaking up and thawing out really quickly. So we'll come back in a little bit when we're ready to add the rest of our ingredients. All right, so things are coming along nicely. Those onions and green peppers have thawed out and cooked. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in with the rest of our ingredients, starting with 4 cups of chicken stock. And see if I can't get this all in here without spilling it. There we go. And of course that's going to bring everything to a halt. I do have some of that left in the bottom because that's that Better Than bouillon, so we'll get him out of there. There we go. And you can see some of the fat that came to the top from the sausage and the pepperoni, so I'm not worried that there's not enough fat in there. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my pizza sauce and hope that I can get these out of these containers. The secret, of course, is to run a little hot water over the bottom. And after that, it's just a matter of simmering until those melt. So if it turns out that this is too much pizza sauce flavor for these, I can just thin this out with a little bit more water or chicken stock. And I'm going to go in right now and just add some of this Parmesan cheese. I want to be careful with that because that's salty, but delicious. So I'm going to bring this back up to a simmer and let it simmer away, and we'll give it a taste, see if we need to add anything. And then at the very last minute, we'll add in our pasta and let that cook for about 15-20 minutes until it is done. So we will come back then. See you then. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes. Everything's thawed out. You can see it's nicely simmering away. I had a taste. It's not too strongly flavored of pizza sauce. It tastes just right. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm adding 1/2 cup of our pasta to this, which doesn't seem like a lot, but pasta really does absorb quite a bit of moisture as it cooks. So I am just going to let this simmer here slowly for about 15 or 20 minutes. You might notice there's a little bit of fat on the top, but I am thinking the sausage, or not the sausage, the pasta, the starch from the pasta will absorb that. But if not, there's a little trick I'll show you that will work. Anyway, so I'm just gonna let this go until the pasta is fully cooked, and then we'll meet you at the table. And also, what else was I going to say? I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm stirring this. Anytime you add pasta to a liquid, it tends to want to clump together, and you really want to make sure that you don't let it do that. So you give it a good stir once you get it in there. So, and then it won't clump. So I will see you in a little bit. All right, so here's our soup, and you can see that pasta cooked up. I did decide at the last minute, when I put in that pasta, I thought that does not look like enough, so I added another 1/4 cup. Sometimes you have to make those adjustments. The starch from the pasta did not absorb the fat that was on top, so I've got a trick that I'm going to show you. In this cup is 1/2 teaspoon of butter, and I added a teaspoon of flour, and I just mashed the two of them into each other with a fork on a plate. And normally you would use half and half butter and half flour, but I want to try to get some of that fat out of the way just by blending it into the soup. So this is, technically speaking, a beurre manier, which is French for hand butter, because you normally would work this by hand. So I'm just going to put half of that in there right now and just stir it in. And it is raw flour, so you do have to cook it for a little bit. So I'm just going to simmer this and hope that that takes care of it. It will thicken it a little bit because it's flour, but it does seem to be doing the trick. So there you go. Looks like it's disappearing. So we'll find out when I get to the table and have a taste of this. I cannot wait. See you then. All right, and here's our soup. You can see the addition of the beurre manier really thickened it up quite a bit. I found out this Parmesan cheese does not really dissolve like I thought it would. It just melted, and that's what was on the bottom of the pot. I kept noticing something sticking. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit right now as a garnish. And of course, it'll melt into the soup now, but whatever. And just a little bit of our mozzarella as well. And I think, just because you always need something green, if I can find it quickly, we'll just put, if I had fresh basil, I would use fresh basil, but I don't. So I'm just going to put a little bit of dried basil on top. There we go. So that's our garnish. And of course now, we're going to try it. So it smells amazing. I've been trying it as we've been going along here, and it is absolutely amazing. It's two of my favorite foods in one. It's pizza and it's soup. So and it's pizza with little pizzas in it. So let's see what this is like. Oh my gosh, that turned out better than I thought. Wow. Oh my gosh, pizza in a bowl. I really wish I had like some crusty French bread to go with this. But I don't, so we will make do with this, but oh my gosh, is that good. Come on, cheese. Wow, well, this is an excuse. This is an excuse to make homemade French bread pizzas and then have some leftovers, because this is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I encourage you to try this. If you love pizza and you love soup, you will love this. So amazing. And that's it, folks. As always, thank you so much for watching. Links to free printable copies of any recipes here are down below in the show notes. Please like, comment, or if you'd like to see more of this kind of material, subscribe. As always, please stay safe, eat great food, and power to the proletariat. We'll see you next time.